Hey house guests, welcome to today's Big Brother 21 updates and spoilers. Our house guest of the day is Connie Amaya. Connie, thank you so much for the support year after year. We could not do this without you and we appreciate it so much, so thank you again. And if you guys want to be house guest of the day, check out our Patreon link in the info box below. Alright, so when we left off yesterday, the house guests were on an outdoor lockdown. Oh, I totally forgot. I wanted to explain what happened yesterday because a lot of you guys were confused and asking what happened, so I thought I would just address it here because it's easier than answering a million comments about it. So it wasn't anything like scandalous or anything. We made a mistake during the editing, and I know some of you already noticed it. We had like the first half of yesterday's spoiler Frankenstein with part of the day before spoiler, so we didn't know that until after we uploaded it, so we had to take it down, fix it, you know, get rid of the day before, put in yesterday, and that's why we re-uploaded. So I'm sorry about that, you guys. I'm sorry it went up a little bit later than it should have, but here we are, right? Mistakes happen. Okay, so thank you for your understanding. So when we left off yesterday, the house guests were on an outdoor lockdown while Big Brother fixed the kitchen sink. And like, these people are effed. The information is coming out during this outdoor lockdown. There were some questionable conversations in the backyard. Okay, number one, Jack was complaining that David went in the pool in his camp comeback uniform, including sweaty socks. But I just want to note, David did rinse off before, and apparently people go and jump in the pool all the time after they like work out and they're all sweaty, and not all of them do rinse off. So like, that pool is pretty nasty. But when David does it, oh, it's disgusting. So I think Christy was in the pool at the time and she got out like after David jumped in. Really? So also, Holly was talking to Sis about how she has some sort of rash. I think it's like on her thigh or something, and she wants to wait until it's all clear before she goes back to the HOH shower with Jackson because it got worse after the last time they banged. Ugh! Nasty! I also need to mention, I feel like these people are wasting so much water with these shower sexcapades. You are in California. There could, I don't know if there's a drought right now, but even if there wasn't, that is a lot of water that you are wasting. And sometimes Big Brother does call people out on wasting water, and I think it would be pretty funny if Big Brother started calling them out when they were like about to do it in the shower. Because it's not like they're, you know, they have two people in the shower so it saves water. No, because they do that and then they take like their separate showers at another time where they actually like clean themselves. It's a waste. Okay, so this is a lot, this next part, number 3. I'm not saying with certainty that Jackson does drugs outside of the house, but I'm gonna tell you what he said. So he was talking to Sam about how he doesn't trust himself with certain things. Okay, this is what he said. He likes to like restrict himself with some things because he doesn't want to risk like going overboard or whatever. So he says he only between Thursday and Saturday at midnight, and he says he doesn't do it on Sundays or through the work week because he doesn't want to be like that guy. And he also said, unless I'm 3 sheets to the wind on a Saturday night and I'm about to black out and I'm like, all right, I need it. What is he ing? I don't think it was like he had allergies in that moment. I think he was talking about snorting something. I don't know, but I'm just putting it out there what he said. So he was talking about how he doesn't do that during the week because it's a slippery slope and there are like addictive personalities running in his family. So, and during this conversation, Sam was like going along with it. He's like, oh yeah, of course. In his head, was he just like, and Jack was standing there. He seemed uncomfortable. Because the other day, I remember Jack wondering if they should like have a talk with Jackson, like an intervention of sorts, because Jackson has mentioned taking like Xanax and uppers and downers and being like really hooked on caffeine. So like I remember hearing the Jack thing the other day, but I didn't mention it because I didn't know exactly what was going on there. But after hearing Jackson say these things, there's something weird happening. Let's move on. Tommy and Jack were having a game chat and they agree. They were giving Bella and Nick way too much credit game-wise. They are not the gamers that they thought they were. And Jack's reasoning was pretty funny. He says he can tell that Bella is not a good gamer because she's known Tommy for like how many days now, and when she was describing the perfect guy for Tommy, it was completely wrong. She doesn't spend any time listening to what other people say. She only thinks about herself. So obviously, if she is not observant, she can't be a good gamer, right? So that was his reasoning. I'm sure there's others, but that was what he said. So they agree that Nick was not gonna put Christy up during the Power Veto ceremony. She pretty much came up with that herself. And Nick and Bella probably aren't trying to come after their group yet, but they are slowly trying to build up side alliances, so that needs to be handled. Tommy has this plan that he's going around and telling all the 6 shooters about. He says if he wins HOH, he wants to put up Nick and Bella, but his real plan is to backdoor Sam, because Sam he considers to be Nick and Bella's security blanket. So he says if they can get rid of Sam, then Nick and Bella won't have anyone else and they'll be able to pull them back in completely. I feel like Nick and Bella are gonna be pissed at you if you take out Sam. I mean, that's basically like attacking them, and I feel like Nick and Bella would just try to like rally up everybody else to go against 6 shooters. That's what I think, but again, it would depend on who won the next HOH, right? So Tommy, let's be real, Tommy does not want their group to turn on Nick and Bella yet because he is solidly in the middle. You know, you've got Jackson Jack, Holly Sis on one side, you have Nick and Bella and Sam on the other side, and Tommy and Christy are pretty much in the middle. So once you start getting rid of Nick and Bella, you're basically declaring you're on the other side, and then those shields are gone, and who's gonna be the next target? I mean, maybe like Jack and Jackson or whatever, but that's like 2 or 3 people that would have been targets in front of you gone. So I think Tommy really wants to ride out the middle for as long as he can, and he knows that if Nick, Bella, and Sam go, he could be in trouble. So we've seen all week he's been like trying to move everybody away from targeting those 3 next. So Jack says that he would do the exact same thing. Well, actually, no, let me just clarify. He's saying that he wants to get rid of Sam, but he does not want to get rid of Nick and Bella yet. Okay, so Jack says that he would do the exact same thing, and Tommy says, yeah, we'll just keep Nick and Bella around. We can take them out when we get to 8, and if Nick or Bella win HOH along the way, we can get them to take out some outsiders for us. Good luck with that. Okay, so then Christy joins them. Tommy shares his plan for next week. He also talks about what he would say in his nomination speech. He's gonna be like, I was the mediator in all of your conversations with Nicole last week, and I heard some things that don't really add up. And he's gonna say, Nicole was interrogated and bullied by you 2, so that's why you're going up. That's great and all, but like, let's not forget that Tommy also played a huge role in the whole Nicole bashing session up in the HOH room. Yeah, he was loving that. So then, after that speech, he would pull Nick and Bella up to the HOH room, tell them, hey, you guys messed up. I warned you so many times to watch who you're talking to and to not play so hard, and you didn't listen, and this happened. But then he's gonna be like, but I'm true to the 8, and he'll tell them Sam is actually the target this week, and if either of you tell him, then you're gonna be the one that ends up going this week. So Christy says that she is on board with the plan. She also keeps saying that, you know, it's up to them what they want to do, because she's gonna take a break for a few weeks and just chill out. Okay. So then, she asks them, are we still taking out Cliff this week? Is that still the plan? And they all say, yes, we are. But they're still not going to tell Nicole ahead of time. They want it to be a surprise. Okay, so Obi and David were chatting in Camp Comeback room. David is pissed, and rightly so, about the comments that Jack was making about him out by the pool. Because he was saying it in a way so that it would be like something that he said under his breath, but like so everybody else could hear it and he could like embarrass David. And David was particularly offended by these comments because he always cleans up after everyone. This guy is always cleaning. And for Jack to make such a big deal out of him wearing his socks in the pool, which is already gross anyway, like, get over yourself. So Obi says pretty much everyone treats them like they're different, and it really is effed up the way a lot of them treat the Camp Comebackers. Like, really, it's sick. So they acknowledge, so Obi says that he noticed when he was looking at the memory wall that all of the Camp Comebackers have something in common, right? I'm so sorry that they have to deal with that. It's, we've seen it on multiple seasons now. I know we've talked about it so much this season, but if we don't talk about it, nothing is gonna change. So it just makes me really sad that this is still happening on this show. They feel like if the tables were turned and they were still in the game and other people were in Camp Comeback, they would not be treating people any differently. They would not be treating them like they're like less than. So Obi says they have that perspective from the outside world because they know what it feels like to be different and to be pushed aside, so they wouldn't treat other people like that. And, it's so sad. So then, you know, as sad as that is, they start talking crap about Kemi. What? She is your fellow Camp Comebacker. What are you doing? They feel like she wasn't really cool with them until she was evicted. She didn't listen to their advice when she was still in the game. You can see there's clearly a divide between Kemi and the two guys because they entered Camp Comeback at the same time. Even though David was evicted, well, not evicted, but eliminated first, David and Obi started Camp Comeback together. Kemi had a whole extra week that she was in the game, so of course there's going to be that division there. But David says that he wants to get back into the game, win HOH, and chop heads. He wants to destroy the Legion of Doom. Oh, so I guess he's going to be going after like Jack and Jackson and all them. That would be exciting. All right, so Holly was dropping some information to Kat. These two have a lot of like one-on-one game chats, which is pretty interesting. So Kat asks Holly, how many alliances are you in? And Holly says, 1, which I feel like is a bad answer because she should have at least said 2, right? If you're gonna lie, at least say 2 because she's got that 3-man alliance with Jackson and Kat, but that's not the one that she was referring to when she said 1. So yeah. So then Kat was like, oh, which one? So she promises she's not going to tell anyone. So Kat starts guessing names. She says, is it you, Jackson, Jack, Sis, Nick, Bella, Tommy, and Christy? And Holly confirms. She says, yeah, I mean, that alliance is effed anyway, so I guess it doesn't matter. I mean, wasn't it pretty obvious after Friday night that all of those people and Sam were working together when they were all up in the HOH room together, being super loud, yelling, laughing, not letting other people in the room, chanting their new alliance name? I think it's pretty obvious that they're all working together. But yeah, Holly confirms it, and she says, you know what? I don't trust everyone in that group. She says that she just found out that Tommy and Christy have another alliance with Nick and Bella, and Nick and Bella have dropped her name in the past. So what's going on here? I guess she's referring to the Flaming Five, which Tommy and Christy told everybody else about, but, you know, they're trying to play it off like it's not real. But I feel like it's very real when Nick, Bella, or Sam are in power. So it's, you know, another example of Tommy and Christy playing the middle between these two groups. So Holly says that she is at the bottom of the totem pole in the big alliance. She doesn't trust Jack. And Kat says, I'm gonna say something that may be an unpopular opinion. Ooh, we got a hot take from Kat. She says, I wouldn't target this person because I'm like working with them or whatever. Are you though? She says, I don't think Sis brings anything to the table game-wise. And Holly says she doesn't. Oof! Okay. I noticed I feel like there's a lot of underlying tension these days between Holly and Sis. Holly is just getting really fed up with Sis's poor, pissy attitude all the time. I think it's really starting to affect her. And, yeah. So anyway, Kat says that Sis is just gonna coast through because of who she's in a showmance with. And it's weird because she doesn't even like Jack. And they're in a showmance. It's bizarre. So Holly says, yeah, none of the guys want her out. And CBS probably doesn't want her to leave because she's so beautiful. Okay, so Kat says, come on, we're all beautiful. Yay! Okay, so Kat says she's worried that she could be one of the next ones to go because a lot of people have mentioned nominating her. She's already been nominated, and she's like an easy out if somebody doesn't have the balls to make a big move. And Holly says, oh, people have the balls, and it's gonna happen sooner than you think, and most people would put up the same two nominees. So Kat says she's on board to put up Nick and Bella. She's all for it. She'll do it. All right. Wouldn't that be, I feel like a Kat HOH would be really interesting, but I feel like she would end up doing what Jackson and Holly tell her to do. But it would be fun. Okay, so the plan for next week starts to ripple throughout the 6 shooters. So everybody seems down to nominate Nick and Bella, but some of them are not sure that they would want to then go ahead and backdoor Sam. I think it was mostly Holly and Sis who were like, I don't know about that. Christy was like, I don't care either way, but then she was also saying that she wants Nick out, so I think she would probably lean more towards getting rid of Nick. They would rather send Nick out first. They want to split up Nick and Bella. I don't know. It's tough to say from their point of view. I feel like, yes, Nick and Bella are a couple and like a voting block, but I mean, Sam would be too, so that doesn't really matter. But if you look at like competitions, Sam is a much better competitor than Nick or Bella. Yeah, Nick won HOH this week, but it was basically a crapshoot. So, you know. All right. So they're not really settled on the plan for next week. I think they left it at, it'll depend on who wins HOH. That person can decide what they want to do. But it seems like Bella would not be the primary target. It would be either Nick or Sam. All right, so Sam and Kemi then chat. And I was really interested in hearing this conversation because remember, the night before, Kemi told him that Jess had a power, and then Sam immediately told Nick and Bella when she was like, don't tell anyone. And then Sam told them, don't tell anyone. And Nick immediately went and told Christy and Jack. And then there was this whole thing. So Sam asks her, did Jess tell you that she had power? And Kemi says, no. Nicole overheard Cliff talking to Jess after the power veto competition. And Cliff said to Jess, if you use your power on yourself and take yourself off the block, then Kat can use the veto on me and we can both be safe, and then we just have to worry about keeping Nicole safe. So Sam says, that's really weird because he knows who has the power and it's not Jess. So Kemi's like, maybe Jess lied to Cliff? I don't know. They can't figure out why Jess would do that though. And also, you're not allowed to lie about having a power. You can say that somebody else has a power, but you can't lie about yourself having a power. So I'm thinking like Cliff could have just been thinking wishfully and being like, oh, Jess, you won the power, right? So you can use your power and then Kat can use the veto on me. I think it was something like that because Jess doesn't have the power. And I don't think she was saying that she did either. So then Kemi is asking Sam, all right, who won the power? You said you know, like, who was it? And Sam's like, oh, it's not my place to tell. Someone might be testing me, so I don't want that to get back to them. And he tells Kemi that he will tell her if she comes back into the game. Alright, so then Kemi's like, fine, whatever. She has another question for him. She's like, you don't have to tell me this either, but do you know who you would put up if you won HOH? And Sam says, yes, I know for sure who I would want out, but he doesn't know who he would put next to that person. So he doesn't want to drop any names right now. He's not telling Kemi who his target is, but he does admit that the move would be a little safe, and not exactly what the house wants. Now, he's mentioned multiple times to people that he wants to get Jess out badly, but I feel like it's mostly just like for personal reasons, so I don't think that's a great move for him, especially since he's got a lot of people coming after him, which he does not realize at this time. But going after Jess, I feel like would be a waste for him. So unless he was referring to somebody else and he's just telling people he would go after Jess to like throw them off, I don't know. I think he's also pretty threatened by Tommy, but I don't know if he would go after him yet. So then Sam says that he really wants someone to make a big move, but it can't be him. So it sounds like he wants somebody to come back from Camp Comeback and, you know, do something big. So Kemi's like, well, if I come back, a lot of people would expect me to put up Nick and Bella, but she says that she would put up Jack and Jackson. Boom. So then they're talking about how some people are just floating through the game because of their showmances. Alliances. And they also compare Tommy to Andy Herron from season 15. If you guys don't follow Andy on Twitter, he's like one of the funniest Big Brother alums. Oh my god. So anyway, Sam says that that kind of player that like brings information back to the showmances like that kind of player is a bigger target than him, or at least he feels like that player should be. It's interesting because Sam and Tommy are both onto each other's games. And they're both like, I see you and I need to take you out. It'll be interesting to see who gets the other first though. So then Sam, of course, reports back to Nick and Bella about his conversation with Kemi, and he shares that Kemi would put up Jack and Jackson, not Nick and Bella. He also says that Kemi likes Nick more than Bella. I mean, both of them suck, so it's a lose-lose. And he also tells them, you know, why Kemi told him that Jess has the power, why she thinks that, blah, 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 blah. Okay. I have to say, Nick and Bella were being super annoying while Sam was trying to give them information. They were like talking amongst themselves and like, blah, 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 when he's trying to give them important info. What the hell? So then Sam says he also talked to David, and he tells them, this conversation stays here. Don't tell Christy. Don't tell our final five, meaning the Flaming Five. This stays here. Nick, Big Mouth, and Bella. So he lets them know that David cannot wait to take out Jack because Jack infuriates him. So after hearing this information, they're like, ooh, David could be really good for our games. So they're hoping that David's gonna be the one that comes back this week and maybe he'll work with them. It would be cool if like David or Kemi or anybody, if the Camp Comeback person could come back and they could nominate like 7 or 8 people for eviction. Or we could just have all the Camp Comeback people come back and get rid of 4 other people. That'd be cool too. So anyway, I'm gonna stop dreaming now. A little later, the Flaming Five were all talking around the hammock. So that was Christy, Tommy, Sam, Nick, and Bella. So they're bitching about Kemi, of course. She's an effing liar. Everything that she says is a lie, blah, 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 blah. And then Nick says, can we get her out of this game already though? I'm actually about to spit on her, honest to God. And then he says, dead ass, like disrespect the shit out of her. I literally might hock a loogie and spit right in between her eyes. She's a piece of shit. So then, keep in mind, this is in the backyard and there are other people out there, including Jack, who was like, whoa, because he heard this. And Nick yells to him, I'm sick of her, bro. Literally about to spit on her. And again, there were other people in the backyard besides Jack. So Kemi and Nicole were chatting. And Kemi is like, I can't decide who I can't stand more, Jack or Kat. Because it's been getting back to her that both of them have been talking mad crap about her. So Kemi says that earlier Jack was annoyed at her because she washed other people's dinner dishes and not his. And Kemi was like, why would I wash his plate when I know that he talks shit about me all the time? And it's true. Why should she? Are you kidding me? So Kemi says Jack is obsessed with her. He's always talking about her. So Nicole's telling her, yes, I see it, I get it, but you need to remain calm because people associate Nicole with Kemi, and let's not forget, Nicole is still in the game and up on the block this week. So if everybody's really pissed at Kemi, they might vote Nicole out. So she's like, please. And Kemi's like, I know. So then Nicole lets her know. She's like, I don't know who this was about, so like, don't freak out yet. But she heard that Nick said that he was gonna spit on someone. So again, she's like, I'm not sure who he was talking about. And Kemi's like, if anyone were to spit on me, I'm breaking someone's jaw. Ooh! Alright, so tonight, no, not tonight, today, this morning, Kemi is sick of the bullshit. I mean, she's had enough, right? So she's venting to Jess, and she says she's losing her mind in here. But she doesn't want to be like the stereotypical black girl that explodes on everyone. And that just really sucks that everybody is talking so much crap about her and she can't even defend herself because it's awful and it's not right. So anyway, Jess was saying that she can't believe the way that Nick talks about women, and she heard him say, she's a piece of shit. And she also says, I'm not sure if it was about like you or Nicole. So I believe she is referring to the same tirade when Nick was saying that he was gonna spit on Kemi. But she's, you know, not sure who he said it about. And it was Kemi. So anyway, I'm sure that we'll get back to Kemi for sure eventually. But nothing too crazy yet happening today. As of right now, Nicole is staying, Cliff is going, and it's still a blind side at this point. The 6 shooters are trying to decide if they're gonna tell anyone else ahead of time. Tommy was all like, oh, maybe we should convince Nick and Bella that Cliff should stay, so then next week we can really make sure they know that Sam is a target even if we do put them up. But then everybody's like, do we owe them that though? Like, do we need to do that? I don't know. Also, they're thinking, should we include someone like Kat in on this vote and then it won't be just the 6 of us? I think it's still going to be pretty obvious that you 6 did this together. And I think Nick and Bella will tell people that it's you 6. But anyway, yeah, it looks like Nicole will be staying so far. You never know what could happen. And Cliff is, you know, still oblivious to all this. Cliff thinks that he's staying. So he's not really like going into overdrive campaign mode. And Nicole, I'm not really sure what she thinks. I think she figures it's kind of up in the air at this point. I don't know. I don't know what Nicole thinks. That's kind of weird. But let me know what you guys think in the comments. And until tomorrow, much love.